Hey guys, it's me, Walter. I was just having some ice cream today and I decided that I wanted to do another video because I have nothing better to do with my life at this point apparently. So yeah, here I am again. And this time I'm going to talk about a little indie game that I started playing last week, and it's called SanctuaryRPG. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking random crap now and just get on with the video. Hope you like it. SanctuaryRPG is a turn-based dungeon crawler set in a rather peculiar fantasy world. It mixes many elements from different styles of fantasy, managing to create a very interesting and unique world for the player to explore. There are two versions of the game out right now. The regular version, also known as SanctuaryRPG Classic, can be downloaded for free from blackshellgames.com. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the paid version, also known as SanctuaryRPG Black Edition, released on Steam Early Access on December 12, 2014. Both versions are essentially the same game, with the Black Edition being released as a beefed up version of the classic one with new art, new music, writing, and features like extra perks and better character customization. This game uses ASCII graphics. I gotta admit that I did not expect such a good use of ASCII characters. They really do excel in comparison to other games of this style, as the developers managed to make it look coherent instead of a jumbled mess of letters and symbols. This one's kind of a mixed bag. On one end, the music is pretty good and fits the game as it should. Some tunes are even pretty memorable in their own right. The sound effects, however, are rather strange. Not Jill of the Jungle strange, but a little odd nonetheless. Some sound effects sound like they're coming from a PC speaker, which is only fitting due to the style of the game, but others sound pretty high quality, and it just creates a strange combination of old and new. This isn't exactly bothersome though, and it won't affect the overall experience, but I do find it rather strange and maybe a little unfitting. Or maybe that's what they were going for, I don't know. It really doesn't bother me that much. I just found it pretty interesting. Ever play Shining in the Darkness on Sega Genesis back in the day? Imagine that with ASCII graphics and comic relief, and you get something similar to what this game plays like. You're always in a first-person view and perform actions by typing on the keyboard and pressing the Enter key. It might sound cumbersome if you have never tried games of this style, but it actually works really well. You start out by choosing your character's class, name, appearance, and precedence, then you gotta pick a game mode. In classic mode, you only have one life, so die once and your character is dead for good. Softcore is a little more forgiving, since it will just set you back quite a bit instead of making you replay the game from the start. Afterwards, you're treated to a cinematic telling you what's going on and why you should even care, and then it's right into the game. Some lady will come to you and give you a weapon and some money, as well as a tutorial if you so choose. I would like to take a little detour here to the options menu. Now, what's so special about it? Well, do you see it? Do you see it? It's right here. You want me to point it out? You can turn off the freaking tutorial, that's what. Even the in-game dialogue if you want. How many times do you see that these days? Hell, you can even have the combat be automatic, although I can't imagine why you would want to do that, but the option is right there. After getting your first weapon, you're immediately thrown into battle. Now, the combat in this game is turn-based. One thing I like is that you can chain attacks to do more damage. You can also heal and reposition yourself to recover MP and avoid certain status effects, some of which are pretty hilarious by the way, like the exposed status effect, which will enable the enemy to attack your exposed crotch for massive damage. Of course, there is a leveling system in place as well that's very similar to older CRPGs like Fallout, in which you assign points to enhance your character, their abilities, mastery with weapons, and so on and so forth. Standard stuff, you have seen it before, but it works and it's okay. After a short while, you will have access to your camp, where you can craft items, weapons, and armor, as well as mine for materials. The church, so you can pray to the Old One, burn things, and turn up the difficulty of the game if you do not fancy yourself a casual. A blacksmith, a market, a library, a tavern, and a coliseum where you can go into randomly generated dungeons to find loot. Sometimes, as you travel the overworld, you will encounter random events where you will have to complete a quest to get a certain reward. I know I'm extending myself quite a bit here, but there is a lot to this game, and I can't hope to cover it all in this video. So I will end this section by mentioning the amazing writing. More than once you will find yourself laughing out loud and always wondering what will come next. There are many conversations that don't really lead anywhere and they're just there for kicks, and in a way, that's quite alright. At least it's way better than Castlevania 2, where no one ever made any sense unless you used a ROM hack, but yeah, that's a story for another day. Look at this game. Just look at it. This thing will run on anything. If a Nokia E63 could run Windows applications, I think it would run just fine on that. This game doesn't need more than 500 megabytes of RAM, integrated video, and a 1 GHz single core processor. It will run on the old family PC from 2001. It will run on anything at this point. So be sure to check it out for yourself. I personally recommend trying out the classic version and then maybe get to the Black Edition if you enjoyed that. Don't be afraid of the early access label. This game is very much complete. The only reason it's even on early access is because the developers wanted to add more to it. So don't be afraid to shell out that cash for the Black Edition.